Sign it, Claire. I'm taking the house, the car, everything. You've got nothing without me. He pushed the divorce papers across the cold marble island while his parents watched like it was dinner theater. His mother leaned close and whispered, "She never deserved this life anyway." My hands shook as I turned to the last page. Then I saw a number that didn't make sense, and in that second, my heart didn't break, it woke up. My name is Claire Bennett. I'm 32 years old. I work as a high school administrative assistant. I've never made six figures. I've never owned designer bags or posted luxury vacations online. I live quietly. I show up on time. I pay my bills. For 4 years, I supported my husband's small construction business. I answered customer calls while cooking dinner. I handled invoices at midnight. I corrected contracts he rushed through and forgot to proofread. When suppliers complained, they called me, not him. In his family, I was the quiet one, the one who smiled too much and spoke too little. I was never impressive enough for them. They liked to remind me that he built everything, that I was lucky to live in that house. What they didn't see were the nights I transferred money from my savings to cover payroll, the smell of sawdust on his jackets mixed with my cheap lavender detergent because I washed his work clothes at 2 in the morning. They didn't see the stack of overdue bills I quietly handled when his big projects fell through. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I was organized, careful, patient. And that night, when he said I'd leave with nothing, I almost smiled. If you've ever been told you were nothing without someone else, this story is for you. Subscribe if you felt financially controlled or underestimated in your own marriage. Tell me in the comments, have you ever had someone try to scare you into silence? And click hype if you believe no one deserves to be threatened in their own home. He called it a family dinner, said his parents wanted to celebrate a new contract. I made roast chicken. His father brought wine. We sat down, and before I even picked up my fork, he cleared his throat. "We need to talk." His voice was calm, too calm. He stood and pulled a folder from his briefcase. "I'm filing for divorce," he said. Just like that. His mother didn't gasp. His father didn't look shocked. They knew. "Claire's been holding me back," he continued. "I can't grow my business with someone who doesn't understand ambition." I felt heat crawl up my neck. "Holding you back?" I asked quietly. He nodded. "The house is under the business name, the car lease too. Legally, it's mine." His father added, "You don't even earn enough to fight him." His mother sipped her wine and said, "It's better if you sign peacefully." He slid the papers toward me. The agreement demanded I waive rights to the house, the car, and any claim to his business. "If you fight me," he said, lowering his voice, "I'll drag this out until you're broke." My chest tightened, but then I looked closer at the financial summary attached to the paperwork. There were revenue numbers listed that were far lower than what I remembered processing. Deposits were missing. Projects I knew had been paid in cash were nowhere on the report. My fear shifted into something sharper. He thought I didn't understand the numbers. He forgot who managed them. And in that second, my heart didn't break. It woke up. He moved fast after that dinner. The next morning, I tried to log into our joint bank account. Access denied. I checked the balance through a saved notification. Nearly empty. He had drained it overnight. I stood in the kitchen listening to the refrigerator hum, the only sound in the house, and felt the weight of what he was trying to do. Control, erase, punish. By afternoon, I was locked out of the business email and accounting software. 4 years of systems I built, gone with one password change. Mutual friends stopped texting. One finally replied, "He said you didn't really help much." Dead weight. That's what he called me. A week later, he posted online about betrayal and ungrateful partners. He never named me, but everyone knew. His mother told women at church that I slept late and spent his money. At a neighborhood barbecue, he laughed loudly and said she couldn't survive without me. I heard the words float across the yard. I didn't react. I picked up my plate and walked inside. Let him talk. Then the legal letters started. Thick envelopes with sharp language, demands to sign immediately, warnings about court costs. "You don't have money for this," he told me one night when we crossed paths in the hallway. "Be smart." I looked at him and said nothing. I stopped arguing, stopped defending myself. I started organizing. What they didn't know was that I never deleted anything. Every invoice I sent from my laptop automatically backed up to a cloud folder he forgot existed. Every bank transfer confirmation sat in my email archive. Photos of signed contracts, screenshots of text messages discussing cash payments. I had copies of deposits that never made it into the official reports. I remembered the exact dates because I was the one who reconciled them. The more arrogant he became, the more careful I became. I wasn't trying to destroy him, I just refused to be erased. I contacted Mr. Reynolds, an older lawyer who had once helped his family with a property issue years ago. He met me in a small office that smelled like old books and strong coffee. He adjusted his glasses and listened without interrupting. "You handled their paperwork back then, didn't you?" he asked. I nodded. He was late to every meeting. I nodded again. When I handed him the folder of printed records, he went quiet. He flipped through bank statements, studied email chains. His jaw tightened slightly. "He's not as protected as he thinks," he said. He explained that hidden income and unreported cash jobs could lead to serious tax consequences. My stomach flipped, but not from fear, from clarity. Meanwhile, my husband grew louder. "She'll cave any day," he told friends. His parents talked openly about renovating the kitchen once I was gone. I heard his mother discussing paint colors on the phone. They were already planning my absence. As the court date approached, the tension felt thick. I packed a small suitcase and stayed with a coworker for a week to clear my head. At work, I continued filing attendance reports and answering student questions like nothing was happening. At night, I reviewed documents with Mr. Reynolds. We built a timeline. We printed everything. We stayed calm. The final negotiation meeting was held in a quiet lawyer's office downtown. He walked in confident, wearing the blue suit I bought him for our 3rd anniversary. He didn't look at me. "She doesn't have anything," he told his attorney with a smirk. I folded my hands on the table. Mr. Reynolds began calmly. He slid a stack of papers across the desk. "Would you like me to explain these undeclared deposits?" he asked. My husband blinked. "That's out of context," he said quickly. Mr. Reynolds tapped another page. "And these email chains discussing cash jobs not reported in the business ledger?" Silence. The air felt colder. "If this proceeds to court," Mr. Reynolds continued evenly, "there may also be federal reporting implications." My husband's confidence cracked. His attorney leaned toward him and whispered urgently. His mother, sitting behind him, stopped breathing so loudly. He avoided my eyes. The offer changed within minutes. Equal division of the house equity, shared value of the car, a financial settlement based on true income, not the reduced numbers he submitted. He swallowed hard. "Fine," he muttered. I finally spoke. My voice was steady. "I asked for fairness. You chose war." He said nothing. I moved into a small townhouse on the other side of town. It wasn't grand. The walls were plain white and the kitchen tiles were slightly uneven. But when I unlocked the door the first night, the silence felt peaceful, not threatening. I placed my suitcase on the floor and stood still for a moment. No tension, no whispers, no one watching me sign papers at a kitchen island. The settlement didn't make me rich. It made me stable. I kept my job at the high school. I enrolled in night classes for accounting certification. Numbers had always been my quiet strength. Now they were my future. Some evenings, I sat at my small dining table with textbooks open, listening to the soft ticking of the wall clock while I studied tax law basics. It felt almost ironic. He, on the other hand, faced audits, requests for documentation, long meetings with his own attorney. I didn't celebrate it. I didn't need to. His stress was built from his own choices. One afternoon, months later, I ran into him at the grocery store. He looked thinner, tired. He nodded awkwardly. "You're doing okay?" he asked. "Yes," I said simply. And I was. I realized something important through all of it. I was never powerless. I was patient. There's a difference. He tried to scare me with money, tried to convince me I had nothing, but I had knowledge, records, proof, and a calm mind. If someone has ever tried to control you with money or threaten you into silence, I understand that fear. It feels heavy. It feels isolating. But fear fades when you start gathering facts. Share your story in the comments. Did someone try to make you feel financially trapped? Subscribe if you believe fairness matters in marriage. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it. Did this story hit home? Let me know by liking the video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Click hype to help this story find others who felt the same way. Your support makes a huge difference. He tried to take everything, but he forgot I knew where everything was.